We wish you all an incredible morning. Thank you all so much for being here. I guess it's morning unless you're still on Paris time from the Olympics, which I think it would be early afternoon by now. But we thank you so much for being here. This is a very special event. It is special every year, but even more special this year because it is a milestone birthday today. We welcome you to the 10th annual Seniors Who Rock. I'm George Zahn. I'm the station manager from WMKV Public Radio. I'm proud to serve as your MC for this important occasion. I wore this shirt so that I could be, forgive the pun, your purple people greeter. There are people here who know what that means. Thank you for making the time to join us to honor 3 inspiring seniors. In 2015, Pro Seniors established Seniors Who Rock to shine a very positive light on older adults and to celebrate the value and vibrancy these men and women bring to our community. We also know that the need for Pro Senior services is continuing to increase. Pro Seniors provides nonprofit, no-cost legal and long-term care advocacy, fraud prevention education as well to Ohio seniors. Soon you'll hear more about their mission and inspiring honorees at Seniors Who Rock. Seniors Who Rock is possible because of support from sponsors, including our media and in-kind sponsors, CET Connect, Norton Outdoor Advertising, and WMKV 89.3 FM. As a longtime partner of Pro Seniors, WMKV helps to reach seniors and caregivers with sound advice from Pro Seniors on our weekly Medicare Moment radio program. You can hear it on Thursdays at 2 p.m. with Kathy Raffles from the Ohio Senior Medicare Patrol. We're also grateful for our volunteer videographer, Ken Bowers, who risks his cameras every year that I MC. Before we get started, for those of you who are using social media, and more of us are using it every day, please share your photos and use the hashtag SeniorsWhoRock and tag Pro Seniors. Once again, hashtag SeniorsWhoRock. Twitter and Instagram, you can do @ProSeniors_Inc. Facebook and LinkedIn @ProSeniors. We're grateful to our silver sponsors, Bricker Graydon, the Center for Closing the Health Gap, Council on Aging of Southwest Ohio, Dean Dorton, and Compass Health Rehabilitation Hospital, Ohio Access to Justice Foundation, PNC Bank, Robbins, Kelly, Patterson, and Tucker, and Taft Law. Your silver sponsorships will help Pro Seniors reach more Ohio seniors who need their expertise to resolve a legal or long-term care problem. Our bronze sponsors believe in justice as well. Barnes Denning, Bartlett and Company, Benchmark Wealth Management, Sisters of Charity of Cincinnati. I went to St. Matthew's in Norwood, so I know all about the Sisters of Charity. Hesch Law and CPA, Johnson Investment Counsel, Malott and Malott, Scripps Gerontology at Miami University, Spring Grove Cemetery and Funeral Home, and Wood and Lamping. This year, we also have mimosa sponsorships. Orange, you glad I mentioned? I'm sorry. I promised Dimity I would only do a couple of puns, so I will try not to do any more. Our mimosa sponsors to thank for adding to the bubbly this morning. Special thanks to Mesmer Capital, Team de la Vega, Real Estate, and the Pro Seniors New Professionals for sponsoring the mimosas and raising funds and awareness of Pro Seniors services and mission. Just on a personal note, I have directed so many people to Pro Seniors over the years, and this organization is truly a gem within our area. And I'm always honored to even be involved with this project or anything with Pro Seniors. They do an incredible job. We also want to thank our friends of Seniors Who Rock, who also invest in supporting the Pro Seniors mission. To date, Pro Seniors has recognized 34 Seniors Who Rock honorees, and we have a few of them here. Please join me in a round of applause for our former honorees who have joined us again this year. Kathleen Brinkman, You can stand, please, if you'd like. Tom Cooney, Polly Doran, Marilyn Harris, Georgia Keith, Dolores Lindsay, and John Pinney. They continue to inspire an entire generation of people, especially many of us boomers. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Attorney Dimity Orlett, the Executive Director of Pro Seniors.
Thank you so much, George. I don't know about you, but I'm fine with his jokes. I find them great. So I'm just so thankful to be here in the room with all of you. A lot of great energy. And as a bonus, if you didn't already see, this is the designated hotel for all the tennis players for the tournament. So I've already had some celebrity sightings. So keep your eyes open. That's very exciting. So in addition to being here really for the stars of our show to honor our seniors who rock, this event is intended to help us also celebrate aging. And what I mean by that is rethinking or reframing aging. We really are, we grow up thinking about aging primarily negatively. And, sometimes we make jokes about it and it seems harmless, but unfortunately, those negative thoughts and stereotypes, really seep into the expectations that we create for ourselves or our family members, and really for the institutions that should be serving us, our hospitals, our governments, our workplaces, all these things, to policies and practices that either minimize, devalue seniors, or forget about them altogether. And so I hope that you will consider, and I think you already have by being here today, joining us in the pro-aging movement to insist that workplaces and institutions value seniors the same way that we value children and parents and families and people seeking to have work. We need to support people across the continuum of our lives. We don't lose value and dignity as we age. So with that thought, we like to say dignity and rights are ageless at Pro Seniors. And I just want to tell you a little bit about the work we did last year in service of our mission, the mission we've had since 1975, to provide no-cost legal and long-term care advocacy service and Medicare fraud prevention to older adults. So last year alone, our legal team provided legal help to more than 7,500 seniors across Ohio. This is to help them resolve legal issues that had the potential to disrupt their lives. 7,500, isn't that just amazing? So that's our legal helpline. Our legal helpline and our in-house attorney staff, they're just incredible people. Also our ombudsman team, these are folks advocating for individuals in long-term care. They helped more than 11,000 long-term care residents in our 5-county area understand their rights as long-term care residents and resolve issues that were impacting their quality of care and quality of life. So that's incredible as well. And then last but certainly not least, because we have a statewide senior Medicare patrol team that provides outreach and education and assistance to help people detect, prevent, and report Medicare fraud. I mean, we know how prevalent scams are, and they can just be so catastrophic, financially, and also to how we feel about, trusting people and our engagement with society. So last year alone, our Medicare patrol team empowered more than 34,000 older adults to be able to recognize, prevent, and detect fraud. So we really want to thank those team members. And when I talk about the team, really that includes our staff, it includes interns, it includes volunteers, and of course it includes our board of trustees. So if you are in one of those groups I just mentioned, I would love if you would stand just for a moment. So if you're a staff member, a volunteer, a board member, an intern. And then if you're Mary Day, and if you're the development director and communications director who planned this event and led all the planning, will you keep standing and wave? She loves that. She just loves it. That's why she sat herself in the back, right? So with that, it's my pleasure to now introduce a special guest that I'm so pleased is here with us today, and that is our city manager, Cheryl Long. In her role as city manager, she oversees the operation of more than 6,000 employees. I think that's more than most anybody in the room could say. And that includes overseeing departments as diverse as public services, building inspections, budget, law, transportation, police, fire, and more. In addition, she's also administering policies set forth by the mayor and city council. So, just all in a day's work. And so we are so honored to have Cheryl with us today, and I want to turn the podium over to her at this time.
I'm taking it easy. I have heels on, so I don't want to get a photo moment with me just falling. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for all being here today to recognize and celebrate all of our honorees. I'm Cheryl Long, City Manager for the City of Cincinnati. And it's my job, as was mentioned, to run the day-to-day operations of the city, and that means making sure every person who lives, works, or visits the city is able to experience it equitably. Age is just a number. And I know that now, as I approach my 40th year of life, and I remember when my kids are looking at me like, "Oh, Mom," I'm like, look, really? I'm young and hip, really am. Still trying to figure out the limbo. But something I realize more and more as my youngest son embarked on his freshman year of college, life moves so fast, and no matter our age, we have an important role to play in the success of our city. And for every honoree in this room, you are a large part of why Cincinnati rocks. The city has an even more important responsibility to ensure everyone can enjoy it without barriers. Some of our most involved and engaged citizens are those who have lived here for decades because they know what we don't know. They have seen what we have not seen, and also they have seen what we have tried and what did not work. They have seen the city evolve and are invested in where it is going. And we as a city are committed to supporting older adults as they retire and enjoy all Cincinnati has to offer. We are constantly assessing and improving our policies, programs, and resources to support our older population, but without community like you, we don't have people who are assisting with the execution of the gaps that we have not identified. We may, from a housing advocacy, from a legal situation, from teaching, we appreciate all of you and the efforts that you're putting forward. It's my job to make sure that the city services are available to everyone in the most effective and equitable way, and that means recognizing that not everyone is identical in how they access those services. It's one reason why communication is so important to me, council, and why we are working on overhauling how the city communicates and continues to advance our new practices. We have to continue to be a city where all ages can thrive. We have to be a city where all perspectives are listened to and have a means to be expressed. Technology is advancing, but there is nothing wrong with some of the simple things either. One of the examples of that is our 311 system. For instance, yes, it's great to have an app, and I love an app, but I think that to be technologically not as smart and educated is not an age thing, it just happens to be the way my brain works, right? So how many of you would prefer to pick up the phone? Raise your hand. How many of you would prefer to talk to a person? Right? Because sometimes the apps just don't say what you needed to say. So that is what we're talking about with 311. We realize that everybody just doesn't depend on the app, but some people need to pick up a phone. So 24 hours a day, if you're in the city of Cincinnati limits, and you pick up the phone and you dial 311, you will be able to access a person that will speak to you and point you and your work order to the direction that it needs to go. Those are the things that we're talking about. We have to find out how people need to do things, and some of these things that we're talking about, because unfortunately we automatically think, oh, well, you're not old enough to be able to do that. Well, guess what? I can't do it either, and I would prefer to talk to somebody. And then those are the ways that we have to look at things. So we have a Chief Advocacy Officer for Age and Accessibility. Her name is Tanya Smith, and these are the things that she helps raise to our attention, especially when we're talking about our seniors. Our city employees, they take pride in their work and are committed to be the betterment of our entire community. Whether you are 1 or 100, we are here to serve. And again, I thank you all for the work that you're doing. You may find me with the rec center, hanging with the seniors, doing bingo and doing stepping. That is my favorite getaway in the middle of the week. Nobody knows that, because they're probably the coolest bunch. But nonetheless, your city is listening, and while it may not move quickly, we are continuously evolving and scanning to make sure that we're finding ways to meet you where you are and not where we think you need to be. So thank you.
Thank you so much, City Manager Long, and thank you for your leadership on these issues. At this time, I'd like to share a brief video featuring a legal client of ours named Lucille and her daughter Tracy. A Pro Seniors legal helpline attorney helped Lucille resolve a problem she was having with her landlord, helped resolve that issue, and provided her with some peace of mind too. So we'll just watch this for a moment.
So my name is Tracy Hayes Gann, and Lucille Edwards is my mother. CMHA, Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing, had contracted with Touchstone Properties to manage the Baldwin Grove Senior Living Apartments. And my mother, who was a resident there, was just having so many difficulties with them changing management, them changing employees. You know, she was double billed one month. One month they had skipped her rent payment or didn't, apply it to the month that she paid it in. It was just kind of a circus.
I received a statement, and they said I owed money, and I didn't.
Thank the Lord for Pro Seniors for helping her, one, find out that she was eligible to get that Part B, canceled. That premium cancel, and that she could use that money for other things that she would need. What happened was talking to Pro Seniors that had advised that perhaps maybe I go and talk to executive management. So I did. I requested to speak to the board of the Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing Authority. And when they saw that the request came over, then things started happening. Phones started ringing, emails started being sent, and things started happening. So some emails and some faxes were sent over to Pro Seniors so that I could keep them in the loop with what was going on. And then the second thing Pro Seniors helped us with is talking to Mike really was so helpful. Just having a person that we know at Pro Seniors that we can call upon if ever we have a circumstance that we need additional assistance with. We're just so elated that we can just call Mike and say, hey, this is what we're having some challenges with. Would you know of any resources, or could there be any assistance you could give us? For every time we've had conversations with Mike, he's always been available to, give us resources, give us suggestions, recommendations without the assistance from Pro Seniors. I'm not sure if a lot of this would have been taken care of, gotten done.
Pro Seniors is a blessing to seniors, to all seniors, because they surely can get help through them.
Finally, after some other recommendations from Pro Seniors, I was able to get her rent rectified. They did an audit on her account, saw that she had been double billed, saw that some payments had not been posted to her account accordingly. All that has been cleared up, so we're just waiting on our May invoice, and so we should be all set.
I really love that story. In addition, I just love the mother-daughter relationship as well. So at this point in the program, I'm really thrilled to invite Paula Boggs-Muthing to the podium. Paula is the chair of the Ohio Access to Justice Foundation's Board of Directors. In her day job, she's Chief Legal, Administrative, and Business Officer for FC Cincinnati. So soccer fans out there, you probably know what that is. But Paula's going to be presenting an award to my colleague and friend, Mike Walters, and he is the Mike that was referenced in that video. So thank you so much, Paula. We appreciate you being here.
Good morning. My name is Paula Boggs-Muthing, and as Dimity said, I'm the board president of the Ohio Access to Justice Foundation. And today I have the honor of presenting the 2024 Dennis J. Murphy Award to Pro Seniors attorney Mike Walters. The foundation created the Dennis J. Murphy Award in 1998 to honor the founding board president of the Ohio Access to Justice Foundation. We present the award annually to an Ohio legal aid staff member who has demonstrated outstanding leadership and advocacy worthy of recognition. Throughout his 25-year career at Pro Seniors, Mike has passionately advocated for older Ohioans. As the managing helpline attorney, Mike leads a team of legal helpline attorneys who assist older adults facing civil legal issues. Under Walters' leadership, the Legal Helpline conducted 12,000 appointments in 2023, a record number. That is a huge number, 12,000 appointments. During his career, Mike has personally assisted more than 20,000 clients. That is a tremendous accomplishment. Mike's vast knowledge of Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security makes him an invaluable asset and resource at Pro Seniors. And despite his busy schedule, he generously donates his time and energy to helping his colleagues, ensuring their clients receive the best outcomes possible. Mike is an active and engaged participant in the legal community, supporting advocacy, outreach, and education at the state and national levels. He is president of the National Association of Senior Legal Helplines, assistant chair for the statewide legal aid utilities subgroup of the Consumer Task Force, and a member of the Cincinnati Bar Association Social Security Law Committee. That is a little bit of a tongue twister. In the words of his nominators, Dimity Orlett and Miriam Sheline, Mike's enthusiastic approach to his work and the respect he shows colleagues and clients alike make him an inspiration and a role model. We are so proud to recognize Mike as a true champion of justice. His leadership and advocacy have left an indelible impact on his colleagues, the thousands of clients he has helped, and the legal profession. The foundation is so pleased to present the 2024 Dennis J. Murphy Award to Mike Walters.
Good morning. I'm really overwhelmed with receiving this award. I first wanted to thank my wife, Joyce, heroic woman, a frontline nurse for 45 years, has fought breast cancer to a standoff twice in her life, and I love you with all my heart. My son, Tommy, you're the best thing that I've ever had anything to do with, and that includes what I'm going to talk about this morning. And Tommy's fiance, Emma Hamilton, who is starting her career as a nurse at Christ Hospital in the same department that Joyce retired from. I also want to thank my colleagues at Pro Seniors. The Senior Medicare Patrol, who can hopefully stop a person from losing their life savings to a scam. The Long-Term Care Ombudsman, who do the most thankless job that I could possibly imagine, and helping the most vulnerable adults you can imagine, residents of nursing homes. The intake staff, Melissa and Katie and James, who take 60 and more calls in a day from clients in crisis, and they get those clients scheduled with appointments quickly and efficiently and with patience. And our staff attorneys, one of the things I'm most proud of about this organization is the impact advocacy that our staff attorneys have done over the years. Typically, we will recognize a legal problem in a pattern on helpline calls because we get so many calls from seniors around the state. We'll hear the same story. Typically, it's an administrative law problem, and we'll recognize that this is happening to multiple people, and there is some kind of problem with the way an administrative agency is applying a rule. And through litigation and advocacy, the staff attorneys have fixed problems that have made the lives of hundreds of thousands of people, not just in Ohio, but around the United States, better because of that litigation and because of that advocacy. But I wanted to talk about the helpline. I consider this award an award to our legal helpline, not to me personally. And Louise Roselle is one of the honorees. I think part of the reason that she's being honored is the volunteer work that she's done for us. The cool thing about working on a helpline is you can call clients with these short 30-minute conversations, and you can make that person's life just a little bit better. Maybe it's someone who's being harassed by a debt collector, and just explaining to that person that they can't garnish your Social Security check, they can't garnish your pension under Ohio law, that your Social Security direct deposit is protected by federal rules for up to 2 months of your direct deposit from being garnished, and explaining to that person that there really isn't anything that debt collector can do to them. It makes that person's life a little better. It gives them some peace of mind. And then maybe the next call is someone whose spouse is in a nursing home, and they're afraid that because they're going to need help paying for that nursing care, that they're going to lose all of their assets, or that they're going to lose the income of the spouse in the nursing home. And explaining to that person how Medicaid works and that the rules are designed to protect the community spouse so that they're not impoverished makes that person's life a little better and gives them a peace of mind. Anybody who knows me knows that I don't have a spiritual bone in my body, but I do believe that we're all small parts of some bigger thing, whatever that bigger thing is. And the most we can hope for in this life is to make that bigger thing just a little better. Just smooth out a rough edge here or there. Martin Luther King said that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Thank you for everyone who's worked on the helpline. Thank you for everyone who works at Pro Seniors to help clients. Thank you for our honorees today. And thank you to everyone in this room who does volunteer work to help people's lives become just a little better. Thank you for bending that arc just a little bit more towards justice.
Congratulations, Mike. We are all a lot better for what you do and for what Pro Seniors does. Thank you so much. Seeing the kind of impact that Pro Seniors has in our community is indeed inspiring. As a radio station that works with Pro Seniors on a weekly basis, we get to see and hear success stories all the time. And sometimes it is helping somebody to understand that they don't have to reinvent the wheel. I use that all the time when I'm trying to explain that there are organizations like Pro Seniors who help people navigate what has to be done and do it with a great degree of expertise in this case. I know you're as inspired, I hope you are, at least as I am, by what you've just heard. We want to tell you what you can definitely do to help, and now is a great chance. If you'd like to invest in bridging the justice gap for Ohio seniors, we hope you'll please consider giving generously to Pro Seniors. Not only is Seniors Who Rock a meaningful and inspiring event, but it's also the main fundraiser for Pro Seniors. You can make a gift right now for those people who are here. For those who may be hearing it later on the radio, you can make a gift right now. You can take out your cell phone, text Aging is Cool 24. Aging is Cool 24. Yes, it is. The number you text that to is 76278. I'll give it again. Aging is Cool 24. And the number is 76278. You click on the blue link, type in the amount of your gift. If you prefer, you can use the envelope if you want to do it kind of old school, the way I do sometimes. It's in your event program. Again, you can find that envelope very easily. You can give cash or a check. Please fill in your name and your contact information. It's so helpful so Pro Seniors can acknowledge your gift. Don't worry. Pro Seniors, just as our radio station, we value your privacy. They do not share any of your information with anyone. Please consider the help that older Ohioans will receive through your generosity. And not only do I thank you as somebody who is, as I said, has referred family members, listeners to Pro Seniors, but the many seniors who benefit from the great work performed by the staff and volunteers, thank you too. They really couldn't do it without your help. Now, for the stars of our show, our honorees. To qualify as an honoree, one must be at least 70 years old and active, working or volunteering, and adding value and vibrancy to our community. Each honoree will speak for a few moments, sharing their thoughts on what keeps them rocking. And once again, as we said earlier, don't forget to post about the event. Please use the hashtag #SeniorsWhoRock. Seniors Who Rock, all one big word. Now let's begin. Our first honoree moved to Cincinnati in 1970 and quickly became involved in activism within her own neighborhood. While looking for a home within walking distance of her husband's job at the University of Cincinnati, no realtor would show her a house in the surrounding neighborhoods. Once settled in, she reached out to United Way, voicing her concern. She learned that Marion Spencer and Chuck Judd had started Housing Opportunities Made Equal the previous year. That was the beginning of a lifelong connection. In 2015, Dot published Keep On Fighting, the life and civil rights legacy of Marion A. Spencer. She based that on interviews with her friend. Having earned her master's degree in public administration, working on fair housing and other issues of justice was a natural fit for Dot. Cincinnati Area Senior Services was just one of the organizations that benefited from Dot's passion for advocacy, which included establishing one of the first adult day programs and conducting a Medicare research project with Diana Trenkamp to explore the impact of in-home support for people who have dementia. Dot went on to lead the Better Housing League before her retirement in 2002. Our friends with us today from Council on Aging also benefited from Dot's leadership as on their board of trustees. Along the way, Dot and her husband also raised 3 sons. You want something done? Give it to busy people. Her dad, they have chosen a career in the one form or another of engineering. Their family time included backpack trips out west and in Canada, which Dot has chronicled in journals. Last year's travels included a family reunion trip to Bryce, Zion, and Grand Canyon. Like many of our honorees, Dot's accomplishments and accolades are too numerous for me to list here. You want to hear from her. And it's Dot's friendship that brought her to us today. Her friend Donna says, "What has impressed me about Dot, in addition to her wonderful personality, is her commitment to making the world a better place." That's our theme today, I think. Her other friends can give you more examples of her accomplishments in her 85 years of life. I just know that being with Dot is a treat whenever we get together. She is a fine person in countless ways. For continuing to make the world a better place, we are honored to recognize Dot Christenson as a senior who rocks.
Morning. It is an honor to receive the Senior Who Rocks Award. And it's fun, too. Who would ever have imagined that our pictures would be on a billboard? I want to thank my nominator, Donna, and also to Pro Seniors for the award. When Mary Day called me to tell me about the award, she suggested that I talk about some experience or individuals who had made a big difference in my life and how I happened to become a lifelong activist. In 1953, I was president of the 9th grade homeroom class at Sutter Junior High School in Sacramento. We planned a graduation party, which would be a swim party at a nearby club, plus a picnic in the park, which was just across the street. There was some concern about whether the 2 Chinese boys and the 2 black girls would be admitted to the pool. So I met with the general manager of the pool, and he said, yes, you can all come, particularly because the pool doesn't open until noon on weekdays, and your party is going to be from 11 to 12. Party day arrived. Half the class was in the pool, and including the 2 Chinese boys. When the 2 black girls came, they were not admitted. The teacher objected, I objected, but the assistant manager was adamant. The general manager, who had said we could all come, took the day off. The teacher blew her whistle, loud as she possibly could, said, everybody out, we're leaving, we're going to the picnic across the street, and we left. 2 weeks later, I received a letter from a local law office. Hazel Jackson, one of the black girls, was suing the Riverside Pool Association for discrimination and for public embarrassment on the day of the swim party. I was to be her primary witness. At my deposition, the lawyer stopped me and he said, I don't care one whit what you think, I only want the facts. Your personal thoughts are not relevant. When we went to court, the first case that day was about a Venetian blind company. And when that was over, the judge called a 15-minute recess. When he returned, the case was dismissed. There had been a very last-minute settlement. That was a relief, but I learned 2 important lessons. Life is not fair, and other people may not want to hear what my thinking is on a subject. I still struggle with that. In 1970, my family moved to Cincinnati, and I was appalled at the racial steering I received when I was trying to buy a house. That's when I met Marion Spencer, who had co-founded Home the year before. Many years later, as the new executive director of the Better Housing League, the staff was gathered in the conference room for mutual introductions. When it was my turn, I introduced myself, and I noted that the staff knew far more about housing counseling than I did, and I needed their help. Also, I mentioned, I know I can come across pretty strongly, a sort of my way or the highway tone, but that's not my goal. I confess that once a good friend told me that I could come across like a Mack truck. I said that if any staff felt strongly, or as I did, or that I was off base, I really wanted to hear about it. Months later, we were gathered again in the conference room about some problem. The room was tense. After each counselor had given their opinion, I started to state my own. After a very brief time, there was a hesitant dead silence. I inquired if someone had a cold or was that a Mack truck? It was the truck. My lesson from that, there are many ways to accomplish something. My way is not the only way or the right way. Today, most Cincinnatians are unaware of the city charter, the charter committee, or the unique story of Cincinnati's political history. In mid-2023, as a board member of the charter committee, I reminded my colleagues that planning needed to begin for the centennial this year. The charter committee was founded in 1924 to bring professional city management to Cincinnati, when Cincinnati was known nationally as the worst managed city in the country. The purpose of our project, for which there's brochures out on the table, on the registration table, we want to refresh Cincinnati's unique political history. We want to renew interest in citizen participation, and remember that reform is a constant and continuous process. The project details are in the brochure, and I only apologize a little bit for this flagrant advertisement. As project chair, I invite you to attend one or more of the 4 programs that remain, including one on Saturday at the William Howard Taft Historical Site. Lastly, one person other than the family who had great influence on me was Marion Spencer. I had known and admired Marion since 1970. I was interviewing Marion for her biography, and like others had done, I asked how she had managed to be so successful. She smiled. She said, "Smile goes a long way." And then she said, "You need to be smart, be polite, vote, and keep on fighting." Activism comes from knowing that life's not fair. My way is not necessarily the right way, and certainly not the only way. And we need to keep going to be wake up so that we can keep our government officials accountable. I want to commend Pro Seniors for its understanding of the needs and complexity that older adults face today. Your work and your advocacy is vital to this community. I hope everyone here will join me and continue to support Pro Seniors so that they can keep on fighting. Thank you.
Let's have another round of applause for Dot. If I'm allowed one more pun, Dimity, she was spot on. Sorry, Dot. Whether it is dealing with discrimination or persecution, we hear the 2 terms, bystander and upstander. Dot, you are an upstander, and thank you, and an inspiration. I'm sure we're not all alone in being inspired by what Dot's steps as she made the world a better place. Our next honoree is also quite a trailblazer, Louise Roselle. Some of you may recall, and boy do I'm old enough to remember this, Mary Tyler Moore in her 1969 TV series as a single woman making a bold move to Minneapolis, to the city. I see that resemblance to our next honoree, Louise Roselle, who graduated in 1969 from The Ohio State University with her bachelor's degree in home economics, then earned her Juris Doctorate from The Ohio State University Moritz College of Law. Talk about a bold move. There were few women practicing law when Louise began her legal career in 1972. Working as a staff attorney for the newly established Ohio Environmental Protection Agency, where she worked on air pollution control regulations and implementations of the Clean Water Act and the Clean Air Act. She went on to work for the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Later, Louise worked as legal counsel for Fifth Third Bank and then in private practice, seeking justice through litigation of many complex commercial and personal injury cases. Helping clients to obtain compensation and closure for personal injury clients and those involved in wrongful death of a loved one gave Louise incredibly great satisfaction. Throughout her career, and even while her daughters, Cynthia and Allison, were growing up, Louise has been active in the community. Between travel for work and family vacations, she also managed to serve as a mentor with the Cincinnati Youth Collaborative. Boy, I remember those early days when I was at another radio station. She's also on the CASA Advisory Board for Claremont County and the Northern Kentucky Child's Law Center Advisory Board, and in many other roles too numerous for us to mention here. With her extensive experience, Louise joined the Pro Seniors Legal Helpline as a volunteer in the year 2020. In the past 4 years, she has assisted over 2,000 Ohio seniors and contributed over 1,200 hours. It's no surprise that the Cincinnati Bar Foundation celebrated Louise as the 2022 recipient of the John L. Muthing Lifetime Achievement Award, recognizing her for more than 50 years of exemplary service as a lawyer. For choosing to help others, throughout a career and still doing it today. We're honored to recognize Louise Roselle as a senior who rocks.
Good morning. Thank you for this award. I believe there are many seniors who deserve it more than I do. So what is the helpline that you hear about? Any Ohio resident who is 60 years old or older can get a 1/2-hour consultation at no charge with an attorney on the helpline. The person calls and makes an appointment, and then an attorney calls them back at the appointed time. When I joined the helpline as a volunteer in 2020, I had been practicing law for 48 years. I thought it would be easy to answer the questions. I was wrong. The problems that seniors have are different from anything I had handled in my legal career. They fall into 3 broad categories: health, housing, and poverty. Most people are used to being able to earn money by working. But when through illness or other life-altering event, a person can no longer work, the person suddenly has no way to supplement his or her income if the income is not sufficient to meet the expenses. Social Security and SSI truly are a safety net, but the income is often insufficient to live on. The seniors who find themselves in a difficult situation trying to find health care, housing, and other services that they need. In addition, these situations lead to legal problems, such as evictions and foreclosures. Our goal on the helpline is to either tell people how to fix the problem or connect the person with resources that can help them. The helpline also has a lawyer referral service, and we can refer a person at a reduced fee or even at no charge for legal services. Pro Seniors also has a website with pamphlets and forms such as powers of attorney that the person can use. I want to thank Mike Walters and the professionals at Pro Seniors. I could not do this job without the valuable knowledge and support that they provide. Thank you again for this honor.
One more time, let's hear it for Louise. The running theme is that we're making people's lives better, and that's what Pro Seniors does. That's what everybody in this room is doing just by being here. And Louise, if I had known we were going to use the Mary Tyler Moore reference, I would have brought a hat that she could throw in the air and then go to that freeze frame. For the younger people here, just ask somebody to explain that to you. But yes, Louise, thank you. Our final honoree today has a great outlook, and she makes our community better through her behind-the-scenes activities. She's not a spy, she's a volunteer. The patience and resourcefulness involved in teaching mathematics to high school students have found a new purpose within many local nonprofits where our honoree, Linda Tache, volunteers. At CET, an educational arts and cultural leader in the Cincinnati region, and again, fellow public broadcasters, Linda contributes over 600 hours a year on a variety of projects, programs, and events. In addition to applying her financial expertise to donor stewardship, she finds time to share her beautifully crafted greeting cards with their development team to send to donors. Linda has also been a dedicated CET Action Auction Committee member for over 40 years, where she helps with soliciting donations, entering information into her database, writing scripts, confirming winning bids, and so much more. We need to get her on air. That would be fun. Linda became involved as an event volunteer while she was teaching, joining the Up-Downtowners and supporting special events. Her teaching career gave Linda her summers to explore the world. Her travels have included bus tours through parts of Canada, Mexico, Europe, Egypt, South America, the US, and from Kathmandu, Nepal to Istanbul. In 1972, Linda taught for a year in Broken Hill, New South Wales, Australia, which gave her the opportunity to tour parts of Australia and New Zealand. In addition, this is a true world traveler. She's also taken tours of Tunisia, Kenya, Tanzania, Namibia, South Africa, and Botswana. And Egypt stands out as one of her favorites. In retirement, Linda has more time for travel and for expanding her volunteer options because volunteering is fun. That is true. Volunteering, it makes you feel good. You'll remember, you'll probably never hear Linda say that she's making a difference. But if you've ever attended any events that she volunteers, you'll know that she has an impact on all of us. Next time you go to Summer Fair, consider that this event has only a few staff and everything else is accomplished by dedicated volunteers. Linda is also an active volunteer with the Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Garden, Cincinnati Public Radio, Ensemble Theater, and Findlay Market. If you've ever volunteered for an event and you know how much goes into making everything run smoothly and ensuring that guests have the best possible experience, you know what she's doing. For having fun while you're making a difference in the community, we are honored to celebrate Linda Tache as a 2024 Senior Who Rocks.
Thank you. I got to admit, he just gave my whole talk. He did a great job. But I moved here in '73 for a teaching job. I lived in the greater Cincinnati area, and yeah, I found the Up-Downtowners. Now, unless you're a certain age, you've never heard of them. They were a branch of the Downtown Council, which also does not exist. But this is where the big events in Cincinnati started. Taste of Cincinnati, Oktoberfest, parties in the park. And that's where I started volunteering with people, you know, in our 20s and 30s, and we got active. And I probably made most of my good friendships there as opposed to where I worked. Because let's face it, a lot of teachers are married. And I just didn't fit in and found other things to do. And then I found CET. And I'd like to thank Dan Verzi for putting me in this position. Because a lot of people volunteer just as much or more than I do. The difference is they don't have Dan in their corner, pushing them along a little further. Dan loves to come into the office where the volunteers work and find out where were you this weekend and what were you up to. Because yes, I enjoy ushering. I think it's one of the best things out there. I started Ensemble Theater because I never heard of the plays they were doing. But as an usher, you got to see them. And it didn't matter if you liked it or not, you weren't spending money for it. So, the Cincinnati Zoo, I joined the Young Friends of the Zoo. We weren't that young. But we kept the gift shops open on the weekends, back when you parked on the grounds and you walked up the path, and there was a gift shop on both sides. I could work in that small gift shop, which was the high-end stuff, on a Saturday morning, and we got so few visitors because they were just coming in, I'd sit there and grade papers and sell the occasional battery or something like that. But I also, you think most nonprofits have a core group of volunteers, but they put on fundraisers and they need lots more people. I've worked everything from galas to golf outings. And Each one is unique in its own right, depending on who's putting it on. And you run into the same volunteers, so you may only see each other once a year, but others have become lifelong friends. And I cannot recommend volunteering any higher. I absolutely enjoy what I do, because if I wasn't, I wouldn't be volunteering there anymore. And then also, one more thing I can credit him for is I learned about pro seniors. I was totally amazed. I had never heard of them. I started looking into everything they do, and boy, I'm glad I know about them should the need arise. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Linda. Another hand of applause for Linda Tache. We can credit Linda with ushering in an era of volunteerism. And she did not need a visa to come here today with all those travels that she's done. And speaking of Visa, or MasterCard, or American Express, support pro seniors. Yeah, Dimity shakes her head. They're going to get a shepherd's hook. Anyway, clearly, our three honorees, Dot Christenson, Louise, Roselle, and Linda Tache, are outstanding individuals. You've met them. I hope they've inspired you as they've inspired me. Their ongoing engagement and commitment have a positive impact on our community, and they inspire us all. Join me in recognizing these wonderful seniors who rock one more time. If you'd all like to stand up one more time, please. I'd also like to recognize the Resource Development Committee and others who helped craft an event worthy of our honorees. Thank you all so much for everybody who helped. Before we conclude today, please welcome Attorney Julie Tarvin, President of the Pro Seniors Board of Trustees.
Thank you, George, and congratulations again to all the honorees. I'm Julie Tarvin, and I'm the chair of the Pro Seniors Board of Directors. At Pro Seniors, our team of lawyers, ombudsmen, volunteers, and other professionals served over 18,000 seniors in 2023. When you consider there are over 2.8 million Ohioans over the age of 60, I think you will agree that we have only assisted a fraction of the seniors who could use our help. And they were the people who knew to call us. Thousands of seniors do not know about Pro Seniors and our free services. Thousands of seniors don't, we want to help more seniors resolve their legal and long-term care problems and fight Medicaid fraud. In 2025, Pro Seniors will celebrate 50 years of service. To ensure Pro Seniors' future services, today we are announcing our 50th anniversary campaign. Our goal is to raise $500,000 over the next 3 years. These funds will allow us to broaden our reach throughout the state, engage more staff and volunteers to meet the increased demand for services, provide timely solutions, and ensure Pro Seniors' future sustainability. We need your help to enhance the independence and quality of life for older adults. There are multiple ways to help. You can help support the 50th anniversary with a gift or pledge by completing the form in the program. You can help by sharing our mission with older adults you know. We need more people to know about Pro Seniors and the work we do to protect legal rights and foster independence of Ohio seniors. I'm asking you to consider making a special gift for the 50th anniversary campaign. Pro Seniors can't do our work without your help. Please join us in celebrating 50 years of service to older Ohioans with a donation today. Thank you all for attending.
Thank you all so much for being here with us for Pro Seniors and Seniors Who Rock, and congratulations to all of our recipients. Thank you.